Back in Bernay Jura, and it's a beautiful day today. You can hear the river in front of me. I'm actually going to fish in a river that I haven't fished in for a long time, and a section that I've never fished in. So for me, that's kind of exciting, and I'm looking forward to it. Same setup as last video. This is my typical setup for all these Swiss rivers and creeks. I'll do a Euro nymphing setup, which is a guideline, LPS 9'6" 2-weight, and then I'll also do a Sage TLXF, an old school kind of Sage dry fly rod, which is a 3-weight, 7'10" 3-weight. And that covers all of my A's, B's, and C's when I'm in these rivers. Anywho, let's get fishing. Very large deep hole up here. It looks promising. Water looks beautiful today. It's been raining a little bit. It's been a little bit wet, which is nice. Same setup as always. Two little Euro nymphs. Typically I go anywhere between 2.5 and 3.5 on my bead sizes. And I typically like to stick in silver, bronze, and gold. I don't really do many colored beads. Yeah, that's just not something that I've gotten into personally. It's a huge, gigantic hole. The hell do you cast? I can see to the bottom. I don't think you guys can see to the bottom with the camera like that. But man, that's a huge hole. Got some little mosquitoes or mayflies coming off here. Some little. There's something over there. That tree is perfectly situated to be right in the way, as it should be. One of the beautiful things about fishing is all the little nuance that's involved in making sure that you don't make yourself or your life too miserable too quick. What I mean by that is getting your stuff caught up in the trees and having to retie all the time. I am a sucker for convenience when it comes to fishing, and not having to retie all the time is for me a very beautiful and satisfying thing. Fortunately, on the flip side, if you do take Euro nymphing seriously, and in general fly fishing seriously, which I try to think I do, but if you do take it seriously, there should be multiple changes to try to increase your odds of catching the fish that are potentially below you. But for me personally, I actually like the art of fishing. The catching part is just kind of an addition to just being outside in nature and enjoying the water and enjoying the quiet and the sounds. So the catching of the fish is never really my first priority. So that's why I think I'm potentially missing fish, but who knows. Again, it's unquantifiable. Man, that's a big run. Many people would probably spend a lot more time in here, but it's always important to think to yourself in Switzerland, especially when we have this kind of access here, as I said in my last video, where you have this either a walkway or some sort of road or something close, is that it's very common for people to come and just fish off here with their floats. It's not illegal, so especially in a large hole like this, my assumption is, and I've been here long enough that I think I can assume that correctly, is that most people would go through that hole quite quickly and kind of, take all the fish out of there. So what I concentrate on are the places around the big holes and around these like really attractive spots where most people's eyes are going to go. And I say to myself, well, if there were fish there, they're probably scared, and then they probably know, so they went somewhere upstream or downstream from that large attractive hole or run. And you look for little spots. We look right there. What is that? Crane fly, maybe? I gotta get the right type of water though. This water's a little too fast. It rained yesterday, but we do have here in Switzerland, it's H-O-E-N. That's a Swiss hydrodynamic and hydro work website where you can go on and check all the levels. There's a huge map on there, and it has little dots and indicators of where there's been flooding or if there's high water and stuff like that. So it's a really nice, really easy to navigate website. H-O-E-N. E as in everything, not E as in a German E, which is an English I. Oh, the beautiful smell. This beautiful rock here, man. Just gorgeous. Gigantic rock. Fishing. The things you see, they are crane flies. Starting to rain a little bit. And the water's beautiful. Might just be my sunglasses, but really nice. Now I do have 2 silver beads on here, which I'm thinking to myself, silver, 2. I usually like to have one of each, or one of a separate color on it, so either a bronze and a silver, bronze and a gold, gold and a silver, or when the water is quite clear. I have had success with silver a lot, so can't say it's a bad thing. As this is a new place that I've never been to, I do like to cover water as much as I can, just to see what the heck's going on. Essentially, I'm just taking inventory, mental inventory for the next time I'll be able to come. So I try not to spend my first time at a river or a little section of a river. I try not to spend too much time just worrying if I'm gonna, if there's fish there and if I'm gonna catch everything in there. I really just want to scan and want to kind of go through all this new water so I can kind of get a grip of this fish. What's going on? As I mentioned in previous videos, one of the things that you do need to worry about, or not worry about, but be conscious of, are water levels. Water levels can change drastically depending on where you're at here in Switzerland. So be cognizant, be mindful. Obviously, if you're in the middle of summer and there's no water and there's no, hasn't been rain for a few weeks, then you don't need to worry about it. But, you know, April, March, May, no reason not to be just a little bit more skeptical of, oh, come on, that looked nice. Standing in the middle of the river. That was a nice drift. Just got to get below that turbulence on the top. I was thinking to myself, I need a bigger fly. I need like a 3.5. It's down underneath bottom of this little stretch right here. I mean, that's all calm. That's where a fish would stay. But the thing is, you got to get down there quick. As we say, you got to get those flies in the zone. Beautiful. Dang.